welcome to another episode of the Mighty Movie Pod. My name is Ryan.
Oh no!
It's a Tyrannosaur.
It's a rhinoceros.
It's a Diablo.
Diablos.
A Diablos. I think that is actually what it was
that's
called.
what it was called. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh. I was doing a bit because we're going to be talking about a movie tonight.
We got a lot in store for you this evening. Wow, so much. The big 8-0.
Oh man,
You've all been waiting for it.
you've been counting them up,
And
down.
I mean,
counting them down.
and technically, I think we had a couple of two-parters, and I don't know if I called those, if I numbered those.
I think our first episodes weren't even numbered.
No, and I
I
had
don't even think they even had names.
and we had E3s before. That'd be nice to do those again.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I could give a shit, but it was a one time where we could do all of them instead of now. If we tried to cover gaming stuff,
Yeah, right.
it'd be like, do we cover this Sony State of Play? They talked about one game. No.
Yeah, how about the Nintendo Direct?
Yeah.
They talked about they talked about
Four
Zelda,
JRPGs,
but not the Zelda you want.
Yeah, 4 JRPGs and a Zelda game, but not the one that you wanted to hear about. And they acknowledged that we were going to be disappointed, which is good of them. Anyway, we're going to talk
Bravely Default looked pretty cool, and
Yeah.
Project Triangle. Or
yeah,
whatever it is.
because I like Octopath, and Bravely Default does look good because that's out already.
Yeah. That was a
But
mobile
so
game,
yeah,
wasn't
it was on the 3DS initially.
That's right. Yeah.
But Sony, I don't know what their shit was about. It was weird. Then it's they showed Deathloop, I guess. Microsoft's Bethesda's Deathloop.
Yeah.
But everything else was just like Final Fantasy VII remake. Oh god, they're already Kingdom Heartsing it with the
Dude.
It's gonna be the definitive version of that before the third
I
one
have a
comes
theory
out.
about that. I think that they've been doing it the whole time. Like all these Final Fantasy VII spin-offs that have come out over the years and everything.
Sure, and they have.
I'm
right.
almost 100% that all of these are going to tie in at some point. Because I know two of the characters in the remake, I was like, why fucking, I saw
Zach
memes and
or
shit
whatever.
about, not Zach. Zach's important. Zach's always been part of the plot. But like, I think her name's Kyrie, and the dude that guards Cornero's mansion.
Yeah.
And the soldier on the motorcycle. I guess they've all shown up in previous games at some point in time.
PSP game or something.
Yeah, PSP game, mobile game, something like that, dude. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, I
great.
guess that's true. It's been happening all along, I guess. But
yeah.
when whatever.
This
It
is
was-
what
it
Nomura
was,
does.
I was gonna say it
This
was
is
all
what
out the
Nomura
window when
does,
the
yeah.
remake, when Final Fantasy VII remake was not all of Final Fantasy VII.
No.
Which, whenever you're done with that, we'll talk about that more.
I am real close to getting done with that. I just have to storm Shinra. That's it.
Okay.
And we're back.
I dropped my pen. We're not talking about video games.
This is the
today.
quality you come here for.
We're going to
Pen
talk
dropping.
about a movie, and then we're going to talk about a mini series, I believe is what you would call it.
Limited, maybe. I don't know, because is it getting a second season?
No.
No,
it was
that
called
was
it
it.
was called the series finale. The last
was it? I
episode
just thought it said season. Oh, my
no
bad.
series.
Oh my god.
Because I don't know. She's probably going to tie in with fucking with Doctor Strange.
Everything
Since
seems
they-
to be tying into Doctor
Yeah,
Strange.
since they mentioned him not by name but by his title, I guess.
Yeah.
Um
Because I know Spider-Man is supposed to be tying into it as well, but I was like, isn't Spider-Man the jumping off point for Secret War?
Yeah,
So-
and I can't remember which one of the fake titles they put out actually ended up being the real one.
for Spider-Man?
For Spider-Man.
I don't know. Spider-Man home cooked meal.
It's yeah, they did a bunch of those.
God,
So
dude, are we
I don't
done
re-
with the home stuff?
it really is still home, but I can't remember. But I can't remember which one they landed on.
No Way Home. Or
I think it's
some
No
shit.
Way Home. I think it is. I
Homeless,
think it is No Way Home.
Homeschooled.
Homeschooled. They did. Yeah.
Homework.
Homework.
Like, how many movies are we going to go through before they're like, you know what? Maybe we should stop with the home shit.
And I don't even think that it was. I don't even think it was intentional the first time. But
No.
then I think somebody was like, "Oh, home is in both of them," and they're like, "Let's just keep it going." Let's just keep it going.
Oh my god.
And I mean, why not? I mean, naming these
God.
movies don't fucking matter anyways.
Not really. Unless it's Winter Soldier.
In the grand scheme of things, yeah.
Infinity War, Endgame.
Remember Civil War, the Captain America movie? That I think a lot of people don't remember. Is the Captain America.
I feel like
Captain
everybody
America
forgets that
movie.
it's a Captain America movie. They all just think it's Avengers 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one wants to remember Age of Ultron.
No,
I
not
remember
particularly.
Age of Ultron. That movie was hot ass.
I don't remember a lot about it. Monster Hunter. It's a video game. I lied. So we are going to talk about video games.
I guess we are. Yeah, let's get into.
They made a movie.
They made something.
Oh my god. I just when is it gonna end? Like, when is it gonna end? You know what I mean? Like, Sonic and Detective Pikachu were pretty good, but the last one I saw before that was one of the.
I told you I watched Sonic.
Yeah,
right?
you did. Yeah.
And I think I preferred Detective Pikachu.
Oh, Detective Pikachu's probably better.
Yeah. But Sonic was okay. Yeah.
But Sonic was fine. But the one we watched before that is one of the worst movies we've ever seen, and that was Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
And you think that they would learn something.
Trying to think if there was another video game movie that I enjoyed other than Detective Pikachu. And I don't think that there ever has been.
No. They're all really bad. Okay. I have a question for you.
Me? Or the
audience? Yeah, for you.
Okay.
Is Monster Hunter worse than Assassin's Creed?
No. It is at its worst,
but
as bad.
Okay. Okay.
At its best, marginally better.
So, but let me ask you this. What had more potential to be a good movie, Assassin's Creed or Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter.
Exactly. So I think there's much more wasted potential.
What was lost makes up for it. Yeah.
Right. You know what I
get
mean?
What you're saying. Yeah, that's fuck. Yeah, that's true. That's okay. Yeah, it's a worse movie. That's a good argument.
I mean, in terms of the film, it's so we could do this
because
all day.
It's like what we said with Assassin's Creed. Like, you could have done just that, the cool part, the history stuff. But then that's not an Assassin's Creed movie because you got to get that stupid fucking Oculus Rift in there, whatever the hell it is.
I think even in the new games where that's not even that much a part of it, they still have little bits of Animus stuff just to keep it all together.
But I don't know why. Like, fucking get rid of it. Like, that ruined Black Sails for me. I was loving Black Sails, but every time I had to get pulled out of it to be like, you work at a video game company. And I'm just like, this is fucking terrible. I don't care. And you have to walk around that office. You can't run around the office. You just, and you got to go to an elevator, go between floors. And
it's like the Anthem when you're a thing where you have to walk around slow as shit in first person.
Exactly that, dude. It's, oh God, it sucks because I really want to love that game, dude. And I never beat it. And it's solely because of the Animus bits.
Yeah.
Because stop. It was a stupid idea in the first place. Anyway, well, Monster Hunter. You got cats as buddies. You're swinging from trees, hunting dinosaurs and giant bear elephants or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never played Monster Hunter, but it looks super fun. This movie has none of that.
No, not until like the very end where they throw it in. And it
gets kind of Monster Hunter.
It suffers from an
incompetent director,
and for the most part, like, I think Sonic did this as well, but it's
Stranger in a Strange Land.
It's the whole, like, it's never just you were in Monster Hunter world. That would be stupid. No, somebody from our world has to go there, or they have to come into our world.
Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't just set this in their world. I mean, you already had fucking Ron Perlman in it, dragging out the wig. I'm pretty sure the same exact wig he wore in Beauty and the Beast. It's just like he looked a shit ton more like Linda Hamilton, but
Imagine we were watching the Warcraft. Oh, the Warcraft movie. There
Yeah.
we go. There's
Warcraft
a
was
there's
okay.
a good
Yeah,
video
Warcraft
game
was
movie.
okay. I liked Warcraft. I know a lot of people gave it shit, but I was like, it's not terrible. I fucking really liked that.
I
one.
like the Warcraft movie.
You love the Warcraft movie.
It's so
We talked
stupid.
about Warcraft, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We definitely.
definitely
It was
did.
one of the early things. It was one of the first things that we actually had a plan to go see it and then talk about it, because the first few episodes we just talk about whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Um,
Talked a lot about Seagal back in the day.
yeah. Why wouldn't you? So anyway, but imagine the Warcraft movie, and it was like I got sucked into World of Warcraft. You know what
So
I mean?
like every anime that's out right now.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, no, for sure. And it's like they didn't do that. It was just the story of Warcraft.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing with this?
Especially because like Monster Hunter is like emergent storytelling, right? Too. There's no actual through story.
No, there is a throughput.
Okay.
So it's usually like something's going on with where they have their encampment, and they're going out, and there's some big bad, and there's a reason why the monsters are doing shit. As far as I know, the emergent storytelling, there is a little bit with that, but you actually go on hunts for certain monsters and for certain reasons.
Okay.
But it is also a loot grind kind of situation.
Yeah, I knew it was like a loot grind kind of thing.
But there's usually a big bad, and the story ties in with that final monster. A lot like the end of this movie actually did. But
where that dragon came in. Yeah,
an hour and 30 fucking minutes,
and there's no story at all before that.
No, it's we're tumbling in a Humvee, and then we're walking. Then there's a monster, and we run away. Then there's more monsters, and we run away.
Dude, they crashed that Humvee like six
They
fucking
they
times,
did that
dude.
Same shot 3 times, I think. I think it was 3 times of tumbling in a Humvee.
There's really no explanation for how she gets pulled there. It's just, oh, there's that thing on that mountain, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was like, there's a storm or something.
Yeah, there's a storm and there's some ruins.
Where'd Bravo team go?
We used to,
man, my husband's dead. We never talk about it.
They never talk about it. They always like bring it up, like she looks at the rings and stuff because she wears the rings.
She has a
around
date on the back of her neck.
Yeah. None of it's explained. I think they're waiting on, like the sequel buzz.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but they did that with Alita Battle Angel, and we don't have an Alita Battle Angel 2 yet.
Which sucks because Alita Battle Angel was actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
I really
enjoyed it.
kind of fell apart towards the end.
I have something when we get near the end. I should have done this in opening banter.
Oh shit.
Oh no. I watched a sizable chunk of Ready Player One.
You piece of shit.
Let me tell you something about Ready Player One. I don't want to talk about Monster Hunter. It's just not good, but we'll get back to it. So let me tell you about Ready Player One.
Uh-huh.
So obviously the cringe, the cringy referential dialogue and what have you is dumb and is easy to make fun of, as it always has been. However, there is something there to the extent that first of all, Spielberg can make a movie, which is nice. Whereas like watching Monster Hunter, it was written and directed by
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Paul W.S. Anderson. You got to make sure you get them all.
Yeah.
Or Thomas W.S. Whatever. One of the Andersons, but the not
the untalented
not There
one.
Will Be Blood. Fucking
Not There Will Be Blood.
Resident Evil. You know,
not Dr. Clouseau. Not
Yeah.
Clouseau. The Bill Murray movie.
whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Clouseau is the guy from Pink Panther.
He only makes crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was Spielberg making crap, but it's still Spielberg.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's
I
a
actually found
large-
myself wanting to watch more of it, and then I was like, I need to go to bed, and I'm not sitting here waiting for them to be like, oh man, fucking Mark Rylance, or I can't even remember the guy's name, but like the concept is so stupid. They're like, he made a whole library of his entire life, and it's the clues to the egg, and it's like they're just watching random conversations that he had, and he's like, while he's coming up with this idea, he's like, if somebody watches this conversation, they'll hear me say that we should go pedal to the metal in reverse, and then that should be a clue of what they should do in the race for the egg. It's retarded.
So it's like watching all those
But
behind the scenes for Star Wars with George Lucas.
But there is a national treasure type of fun to it where they're trying to figure out what to do, and they're in a VR space, and like they can do fun, like what's his name, TJ Miller.
Doesn't the Gundam 01 fight the Iron Giant?
I think so.
Or something.
We get to that. Like they all have avatars and stuff, and early on they show like Master Chief, and people want to be this.
Saw
or
Tracer
that,
in the trailer
or whatever.
yeah.
But like, you know, they do some fun stuff that I doubt is in the book, and I think they did more for the screenplay, which is like the evil corporation guy is going to his badass who's gonna like take care of some stuff, but he's just like a nerd who plays video games. So it's like TJ Miller just making jokes, but he looks like a total badass, but it's TJ Miller's voice, and I'm like, that's fun. That's some like behind the keyboard warrior type shit that I think is funny.
I had said when it was first coming out that it probably would make a better movie than it would have especially in incompetent hands.
Sure.
You know, because it was written by an incompetent, but you know.
Sure. But I don't think he did the screenplay.
No, it was written by an incompetent, but like he handed that over and somebody fixed it, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm going to watch that movie all the way through. I don't know why I wanted to bring that up. Just video game related movie.
Yeah,
I don't
since
know.
Since we're discussing Monster Hunter, and it's I can only as little interest as I had in that, I can guarantee it would have been a better fucking watch than than this.
Oh, for sure.
Honestly, you know what? I would honestly say that the Super Mario Brothers movie is a better watch than the Monster Hunter film,
because it's kind of an oddity, at least to behold.
It's so fucking weird and so bad. It's like Masters of the Universe. It's so bad, but you're having fun watching it.
That's a weird case.
Speaking of strangers in a strange land,
they do it a lot now, where like they'll get some random indie director, Marvel will, who's done like 2 or 3 movies to do a big blockbuster film, but like, you know, there's producers and a lot of people who are in charge of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
They handed that fucking Super Mario Brothers movie off to like this husband-wife couple who directed like 2 things.
Yeah.
And were like, do it. And
they had no idea what Super Mario Brothers were. And then there were like 7 or 8 different writers that they went through. And like, I think a couple directors, because I think they fired the couple.
They ended up getting rid of them.
Either they fired the couple or they brought the couple in after the other guys got fired. I can't remember.
Something like that. But yeah. That's a weird thing. And with this movie, there's nothing fun like that to talk about other than he gets his wife and he makes shitty Capcom video game movies.
It's so creepy. It's like it's their role play that we're watching where he's just like, hey, baby, get out there and wear your tight leather pants. You know I like it.
Sure.
It's disturbing, man.
Okay, so
like I kind of like Mila Jovovich.
So do I. She's all right.
She's okay.
So they find themselves in Monster Hunter world, and then they're like, "What's happening?" And then they get killed off by the monsters, except for Mila.
Everybody
Jovovich.
dies pretty quickly, except for Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa.
Yeah, who we had seen earlier had fallen off of a sand boat, which was cool. I would have loved to see what the sand boat was doing.
Super cool. I wanted to stay with Ron Perlman and everyone crewing this tall ship that sails across the sand. Wouldn't that be fun? No. Humvees. Sniper rifles.
Fruitlessly, I was going to say fruitlessly shooting
all the time.
Machine guns at a monster over and over and over and over again.
Immediately that bullets do nothing to this thing. And they just keep doing it because, I don't know, simplify. You know,
No, they brought that up a lot. Yeah. They're like, we're Marines and we...
well, they're Rangers. They're Delta or
sure,
something
I
like
forget.
That. Yeah.
But they're just like, we got bullets. We're going to fight. And they're like, are you kidding me? It's not going to work. And they're like, we're going to do it anyway. And then they all die.
Yeah, and then they're just like, all right. You know, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
So they got away from that monster because they got abducted by
worse monsters.
By big spider monsters. Then she gets away from the big spider monster. But then there's also getting away from them the second time.
And the third time.
And the third time.
And the fourth.
And then there's a training montage after the 2 main characters do not speak the same language and it is not subtitled.
Which should be explored.
Yeah, it should. They just kind of like, they do the weakest hand motions or repeat themselves and then they suddenly understand each other. It's that crap.
No,
Like there's a much better way to do that. A movie we talked about last time, News of the World.
Yes.
That had the same kind of concept.
Much
Much
better
better
done.
done.
Same
Believe
exact
it or
concept.
not, the Tom Hanks movie did this better than the Monster Hunter movie.
But why couldn't it be done like that? There's no reason it couldn't be done like that. It's just, that's the thing that bothers me the most about this movie is they set up so many scenarios where you see the logical way within the time constraints that they have, because it's what, an 85-minute movie, I think.
Yeah, it was an hour and 36 minutes.
Hour and 36, yeah.
A little over 90.
Yeah, so they have the time and they're not doing anything with it. There's so many moments in this movie where you think something is going to happen and all you get is another really long shot of them walking across the same fucking rock again, but on a different side.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking
And then you see them concocting their plan, and when that's from that point on, it's okay. Like, it's just okay.
The swords shoot fire. That's never addressed.
And then he laughs, and she's like, "You should warn me about that." And then they're like, "We're friends now." They're like, "Why does it do that?"
Why does it do that? Yeah, why does it do that? It never does it. They never do it again, do they?
She does.
On the dragon.
She does, I think, on the dragon, but she also does when she's fighting like back to back with Ron Perlman before he punches her in the face or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was funny because you were like, "Oh, I bet you that he's also from Earth."
Oh, dude, right? Because that's the logical go through.
Then he speaks English, and you're like, "Oh, okay, that is what happened." And then he's like, "No, I studied your language."
And I'm like,
"What?
How?" And he's like, "Other people came here," and I'm like,
"The people
Where
before
are
us
they?
used to travel between your world and our world. That's where dinosaurs came from, or at least I think that's what they were implying."
I think that was implying that's where we got dinosaurs and dragons
and what have you.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then we get a little bit of coolness with that, but then immediately we're back to Earth and we see helicopters being hit by a dragon, which in a monster movie is kind of fair game, but in a Monster Hunter movie, I don't really want to see that.
No, because fucking.
I want to see a palico fucking grapple hook onto the back of a dragon and be like, meow.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, fucking. I already watched a dragon fight a helicopter in Rain of Fire, and that movie's way better than this movie.
I don't think I've seen Rain of Fire.
Rain of Fire is dope. So it's a cult classic.
Is that like
thing.
Aragon?
No, that's it's early Christian Bale.
Okay.
Early Gerard Butler. Before he had fallen.
Have you seen Aragon?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
No.
Okay.
I fucking hated the book.
The reason
the movie.
The reason I've never watched it, and this is going to sound ridiculous, when I was like 16 years old, I think that's around when that movie came out. I went with another friend who was a little bit older than me, and he had some weirdo friend that he worked with or something like that. I don't know how he knew this guy, but this was definitely a guy like our age now, right? In his 30s, for people who don't know. And he was a witch or a Wiccan or whatever.
Okay.
And apparently he was exercising some house or something. And he had a girlfriend who was around, a couple years older than me. I don't think she was underage. She was at least 18 years old. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus. This random guy I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw him right under the bus. But they started talking, right?
Yeah.
And the movie and I'll tell you what they were saying, but the movie that was playing on the TV was Aragon.
Okay.
And I've never wanted anything to do with that movie because of these fucking people. And she's talking about my aura because she sees auras, and he's telling me about fucking, different oils and doing spells and what have you. And I was I was not impressed.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and I'm glad that it's not any good, because it would suck if like they were watching I don't know, they were watching The Departed, and I was like, I'm never watching that movie.
No. The movie is bad. and it makes the book look good because the book is very obviously written by a 14-year-old that really, really, really loved the Sword of Shannara and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And Sword of Shannara is a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, but there's a sci-fi twist to it, and that makes it pretty cool.
Okay. Okay.
No, Aragon is just really, really bad. Like that kid, his parents basically bought him a publishing. I hear he writes a lot better now, but he's also had time to, grow as a writer. I mean, he was 14. Like,
Sure.
the first story I ever wrote was a rip off of fucking Conan the Barbarian. So I mean,
I just write really bad Power Rangers fan fiction.
but it's so good.
It's pretty good.
If I do say so myself. No, dude, this is so funny. We just don't want to talk about this fucking movie. It's so fucking bad, and it's so fucking long, and it's short. It's so short, and it feels interminable. You are stuck watching that movie for so goddamn long.
And it's not like, oh man, this is bad and it makes me laugh.
No. Oh, that was why we watched it, because
Yeah.
it looked terrible, and we were like, oh, we're going to have a good laugh. Let's fucking watch Monster Hunter.
Yep.
You can't laugh. There's nothing to laugh about. It's so just, it felt like no one in that movie gave a shit. Like Mila Jovovich didn't. I don't think Paul Anderson did.
No.
Fucking like Ron Perlman is one of the most charismatic and fun dudes to watch on screen.
I agree.
He's barely in this movie, and I think he slept through all of his scenes. He's so fucking. He's just like, I know how to talk.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
it's
gonna
just-
come with me.
Yeah, we're gonna go. God, and what is with kidnapping her? Everyone, like, especially the Tony Jaa one, really blew my mind because he's like, "No, look out! There's a monster. I'm gonna help you." And then he meets her, and he's like, "Ha! Now you're my prisoner." Why?
Well, she did try to fight him after he snuck up on her.
But he snuck up on her with his knife out, like he's like, "I'm gonna kill this
Yeah,
bitch." And
and,
I'm
it
like,
went so far.
why?
It went so far as like I'm gonna kick the water over so you can't even drink. I hate you so much, lady. I don't know. Yeah.
And the fights are so terrible, and Tony Jaa is entirely wasted.
You
in those
talk about it being long, and the reason that is every stupid thing happens 3 times in the movie.
3 or 4 times, yeah.
Every time. Humvee rolls over in an accident 3 times. They get into a fight, or she's kidnapped or held captive 3 times. Fucking.
They wrote this script over the weekend. This movie and the way it's filmed is the definition of padding for time. There is no script for this movie.
It's basically, it's not. It's a dumb, boring student film with like a
slightly bigger budget.
But with a Monster Hunter like cameo Easter egg at the end of it. Like that's the movie. There's nothing. Yeah, like
there's nothing to
the
it.
first.
It really is.
Over
it really
an
is
hour.
It really is those old independent movies from like the 70s through the 90s where you don't have any money, so you just go film people wandering around in the woods for forever. Except this time they're wandering around in a fake ass jungle.
Yeah,
and
then Hasbro has to come and pay for the end of it to even get filmed. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Capcom swooped in and
Yeah.
gave him some money, so that's why there's a cool dragon fight.
So there's a thing at the end, at least. Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, Capcom don't give a shit. They gave them the rights to Resident Evil, and they made fucking 9 of those, so people watched them.
Yeah, and I heard that as the series progressed, it got further and further away from Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with Resident Evil by the 3rd one.
Because I think the first one you could almost tie in with it happening like right before the first game began or something like that. And then the second one's supposed to take place at the same time as Nemesis.
It's like 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think it was just all nonsense.
Yeah, there was like a Mad Max one.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all weird. All of them.
The fuck?
I don't know what to say. It wasn't a Monster Hunter movie. It wasn't an interesting movie. It has nothing going for it.
It wasn't fun at all. Like
you can watch seriously, it will fit the things you want to see just for a laugh or just to be like, oh, that was fun, it could fit in a 5-minute YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like remember when whoever, I think it was Nathan Fillion, made that little proof of concept
For Nathan Drake.
for Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that was
like,
pretty cool.
they could have just done that.
Yeah.
That's what the end of it feels like, but with a big budget.
Yeah.
And the whole beginning of the movie is
Look
just
at the,
nothing.
Look at the Deadpool short.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
And
There was a little web series that they made based on Fallout that was really good too. Yep. Same kind of thing. They were only like 5-10 minute episodes.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, and Tomb Raider. Was Tomb Raider any good? I guess it was fine. The newest one.
It was really fucking boring, but
It
at
was.
least something happened.
It
That
was
was entertaining. Like, I liked the opening chase.
It
I
was
think, when
all
she's running through
Tomb
the
Raider.
docks.
Yeah. It was all Tomb Raider.
Yes.
There was nothing about it that was like, and now I'm the Tomb Raider. Other than I guess you got the two pistols.
Yeah,
at the
but
end.
she was
But the
always
new
Lara
but
Croft.
It was based
It
off
was-
the new games, which is more
Yeah.
of a origin
story. Yeah, and it's also Lara Croft the whole time. You're not getting anybody that gets pulled into the Tomb Raider universe and is like, "What's going on?"
Exactly. And you know, and they're struggling to get this Uncharted game or Uncharted movie made. Anyway.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Either do I. At least, I mean, I guess the Last of Us show is going to actually happen. That's
they've already
that's
cast
on HBO, and that's going to actually happen.
Yeah, they've already cast Joel and Ellie, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, are we done talking about Monster Hunter? Do you have anything else to say?
I'm very
about
done, dude. This was just, you know, to try to offer some balance.
Sure.
To what we were
Just to
gonna do,
get just
we're gonna gush, and I
are we?
are we not?
Mm.
Ooh.
And
okay.
yeah, Monster Hunter. Don't purchase it.
Avoid.
If you live in China, you can't watch it anyway. They apparently cut that out of the movie, but there was some like
I'm still trying to figure out where
that
joke,
was.
Yeah,
right?
because the dude that apparently said it doesn't speak English. He speaks Monster Hunter language.
I don't know, but apparently there's like a 5-year-old's racial joke.
Yeah. Like I do. I'm not even joking. I think I saw that Bart Simpson make that joke in an old episode
right?
of Simpsons.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. It's something you would see in an old cartoon or something
Yeah.
like that, or like, you know, kids in the fucking 80s
Dennis
and
the
90s
Menace or something. Yeah.
would have made. But I mean, but why put it in the movie?
That's an excellent question.
So, Monster Hunter, don't see it. All right, we're gonna move on from movie time to limited series time.
We're gonna talk about WandaVision.
We
hold for applause. Okay,
Are we good?
that was a joke, man.
Oh, oh, because of the WandaVision. WandaVision. Josh, what did you think of WandaVision?
I liked it a whole lot, especially the series finale.
Oh, so
not all of the the end of the series finale I really enjoyed. Yeah.
I also liked WandaVision. The first couple episodes, the first 2 episodes they put out, I was like, this is some high quality shit.
It was
It's
really
intriguing. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
They're nailing what they're going for.
I loved the way that they nailed the sitcom aesthetic
the aesthetic
through each
the
generation
acting,
of the ones that they chose. The first episode was so great because it was Dick Van Dyke.
Yep.
It was amazing. I was blown away. I kept waiting for Vision to trip over the footstool or something.
and right when you're like in it the most, and they give you that tease of that there's more going on in the show, and it goes, and it's not even like a modern day kind of thing. It just went like Twilight Zone on you.
Yeah.
And it had a little bit of modern and a little bit of Twilight Zone, and it was mixing those things up, and I'm like, this is super intriguing and super fun.
It was great.
And watching that mystery unfold was awesome. But by the time I got what was going on, by the time they explained to you what was going on, the weekly episode format and cliffhanger that they leaned on for 3 or 4 episodes, it feels like
4 episodes
was just. I'm like, let's
just wrap it up. Yeah,
get this going.
I understand. I understand that problem because I was kind of like with the last episode, not the episode before the finale.
Before the finale,
I was kind of like, okay, can we?
It's weird to have a filler episode at the end of a series.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to stretch it out for one more episode, and I was like, why? Just wrap it up right now. Just do a 2-hour episode,
so people still don't know what's going on fully. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the marketing. Not marketing.
Sure.
Yeah, marketing.
And I think that's the only, because like when it's, by the third episode, you're like, oh shit, something's really going on here. And then the 4th, they give you more. The 5th, they give you more. And then 6, 7, and 8, it was like, I know it's happening, but not fully to the full extent of how this is going to resolve or who exactly has what agenda. But I know the premise fully. And that was the fun part of the early part of the season, was finding out that there's more going on to this.
Yeah. And then what, and I like how they set it up too, because once you found out the more that was going on, they deepened the mystery as to, you went from like why to how.
Sure.
I guess is the way to put it. And then I honestly, towards the end of the show, I liked the real world stuff a bit more than I did what was going on in Westview.
Yeah. Because and by that time they had caught up to like Modern Family era.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah. But no, I thought that instead of watching Wanda like deal with her instability and stuff, and like, no, everything's cool, this is just the way it is, and you're watching her mentally break down and stuff, I honestly thought watching the scientists on the other side of it trying to figure out how to cope with this huge science fiction problem was interesting. The attempts to get in and stuff. I mean, the one where it was like, I'll just drive a giant truck through it. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
I was
stupid fucking. That's probably the only episode that I was like, this is bad.
I mean, I liked it because
you got the reveal in that.
She just goes, it's fucking. It's going to make it through, like it'll go through anything. And I think we said out loud, how do you know? Yeah. And then it just didn't work.
Yeah. I was just like, that thing's just going to smash straight into it. And then it did. You know?
Which that was satisfying.
Yeah. But you did get the origin a little bit changed to one of my favorite characters. You got Photon in there. I was really glad to see Monica show up and kick some ass. That was really cool. I think the thing that I like the most about it, and this is probably a spoiler. But
let's just go into spoilers because fucking there's almost no way to talk about the show without doing spoilers. So go right ahead.
I loved the final resolution between the visions.
Oh,
that was
it's so good.
That was so fucking good, dude. Just Paul Bettany just hamming it up opposite himself.
Yeah.
And like, that was great because it was such a signature Vision thing to do, because Vision is one of the more powerful beings on the planet in the Marvel universe. 9 times out of 10, he's sitting around being philosophical.
Sure.
And like contemplating. It was a Data kind of thing.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It was so good. I fucking loved it, dude. Just
he
resolves the conflict with the conversation. I praised Doctor Strange for that.
Yeah, he.
But this was more that. I've been waiting for that.
Very much. I'm going to pose a logical paradox here. And destroy this robot.
I think that's what I thought was going to happen. Like he'd start and then fall apart. No, and then they come to a natural conclusion that they're both the same dude. He's the soul. He's the body. It was amazing. I thought it would.
No, it was that.
It was fucking.
That
good.
Was the best part of that final episode for sure. So again, in full spoilers, my biggest gripe being like, all right, we find out what's going on, and then we find out what's really going on, and then but not really, because it's like it was Agatha the whole time, but it wasn't.
That was hilarious. No,
it was a funny joke.
Yeah, it was Agatha and Wanda.
Yeah,
I think they were both fucking with everybody.
Sure, and that I mean, at the end, she's like, no, you're doing it. I'm just letting him go. And she's like, and it become, I think she she obviously fucked with Ralph Boner. So
Yeah.
like,
Poor Ralph Boner.
poor Ralph Boner. I know. I think I saw people online, like everybody's speculating there's multiverse happening. And then it's a train just hitting that. And it's just Ralph Boner. Because that put an end to that really quickly.
I know that was kind of disappointing to me because I was like, oh, this will be fun.
It was
dude.
just a cameo.
This is gonna be great, and then it's just a cameo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of shitty.
See, and those surprises mixed with how well they were replicating certain eras of television was what really had me.
Mm-hmm.
And always the opening the mystery box is never going to be as fun as wondering what's in the mystery box. Like,
Yes.
obviously,
Always, yeah.
I mean, fucking J.J. Abrams has struggled with this his entire career.
I was gonna say like in juxtaposition, like I watched all of Lost.
Yeah.
This was a mystery that deepened and
resolved.
took a turn,
Mhm.
and then you had another mystery to solve. But both mysteries had a thought through resolution.
Sure.
And I appreciate it for that.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't.
It's so funny you brought up JJ because I was going to bring that up myself, dude. I was just like, this thing did everything right that Lost did not.
Sure. Yeah. No, it did not fall on its face at all. I think that just the 3 hours there at the end, or close to 3 hours, or about 40 minutes, the 3 hours there at the end, I was just kind of like, I got what I wanted out of this show. And I really just wanted them to push the ending on me. Like that flashback.
You wanted to get there.
That
yeah.
flashback episode is as cool as funny as it was for me to say that a big Stark missile was going to hit the ground, and it totally did.
Yeah, that was
Like,
really funny.
And watching her actually be locked in her room, fucking watching Malcolm in the Middle and stuff. Like there were stuff in there that I enjoyed, but I'm like, I feel like there's some pressing issues here, and we're wasting so much time.
Yeah.
To stretch this, because it didn't need to be 9 episodes.
No, we thought that the 8th episode was the last episode.
It was going to be the last one. That's
And
why
that would have been
That's why, spoiler alert, it's been 2 weeks, not 1 week, since I said next week.
Yeah. Because like 8 felt like the natural wrapping up point for that, and I was kind of like, well, okay, I'll watch the 9th, but like this is unnecessary. It kind of reminds me of the Netflix bloat.
Yeah,
Where
but way
everything-
late in the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's just like this show needs to be this long. Why? Who made up that rule? You know?
Once you start giving us the real world more and more and more and more,
Yeah.
it has to start resolving that issue more and more and more and more. We can't just.
I think
That
how
Modern
they could've-
Family episode really was like, that's funny, but like, we know what's going on here, and
Yeah.
they're like doubling down on like giving us another funny sitcom to watch.
like
and I'm
we had to get to that point or something.
and
Yeah,
she
we
started
had to get
slipping
one more.
more, and that was fun.
Well, then by Malcolm in the Middle, she not Malcolm in the Middle, Modern Family,
Yeah.
she just didn't give a shit.
no, exactly, and it was all falling apart, and like that was fun to watch.
I think a way that they could have made it last longer without it feeling bloated was to focus more on Vision trying to figure out what was
Sure.
going on.
Yeah, there were times where I was like, is he on his way back?
Yeah,
or,
where's Vision? Yeah.
or what's going on with that? But I mean,
Why is it taking him so long to get from A to B? This
But-
isn't that big a town.
but you are right. That season, that series finale, the way the Vision thing worked out, and plus the emotional weight of that ending was
that
very
was
good.
really good.
Yeah.
I liked that they actually got to say goodbye to each other
Mhm.
this time. And it's not even really goodbye because fucking the white version of Vision, which I was always wondering if they were going to bring in the other body that he had for God a long time there. Yeah, he was all white. I was where the fuck was I going with that?
Yeah, they bringing him in, unlocking his memories. and-
Yeah.
and
Well, and
basically
I-
making him fly off and have to deal with what's happening just as much as she is. And they
I even liked how Wanda outsmarted Agatha and
Oh, yeah.
like did the runes and everything.
yeah,
I
the
thought
fact that
was-
like they talk about that she's this wasted potential because she's got all this power,
and doesn't know
and
how to
she
use
doesn't. She's not actually. She is a witch, but she doesn't need to do spells. Like Agatha does spells and shit like that, and she's just so powerful she doesn't have to. Even more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, as they brought up.
I laughed really hard when she was like, I know what you are. And part of me was like, oh, she's going to say mutant. That's cool.
Oh.
And then she goes, the Scarlet Witch. And I kept waiting for her to like look at the camera because it's Catherine Hahn.
You know what?
That was so corny.
You know
what are we, some kind of Avengers?
What are we, some kind of hot tub time machine? So, it's funny. I didn't even, after Pietro wasn't really Pietro, I was kind of like, all right, well, this mutant shit's like out the window. They're not going to do that. So the fact that they just made her an actual witch and they talk about like how Doctor Strange does magic and she does magic and it's all the same, but she's different because of the power she has, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, they kind of glossed over the fact that, well, how did Quicksilver get his power then? But whatever. If all it did was unlock the power she already had, what was going on with Pietro?
Maybe they'll at some point when they have to. They would have to. I know they fixed it in the comics, and it was terrible. And then they tried to fix it again, and it made it even fucking worse. And I don't know if they've gone back to being mutants yet or not.
Who knows? But yeah, you're right. I did like that she managed to be like, you're not gonna, thanks for the hint, idiot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was great because it was so good because it was so bad guy where they spell out their plan, and it was a good classic move, dude.
Yeah.
It made me think of Incredibles a bit.
She was actually just like, I'm evil.
Yeah, you don't get it. I'm evil. Yeah, and
it made sense. I like her little flashback, like the fact that she's just like,
cool.
I'm a witch and I'm bad. I'm just like, well, she's a bad witch. Like not questioning it. You know what I mean?
Right?
A lot of these bad guys' motivations, you're just like, whatever. And like her motivation was just like, I felt what was going on here and I had to check out what was going on.
I had to get me a piece.
And I had to get me a piece of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm not going to question that.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. I liked a good simple villain for once.
I'm not one to go back and watch a television series again unless it's like Firefly, but I think it would be fun to go back and watch this knowing the things about it and seeing what you could pick up from those early episodes.
Well, they do so many interesting red herrings, like when the beekeeper comes up out of the sewer, and I was like, oh, dude, beekeepers. That's they call the AIM soldiers beekeepers because they look like fucking beekeepers. And
that's true. And you
were like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, AIM's involved. It's AIM. AIM's fucking with everybody. That makes perfect sense. They had vision, and then nope. That was just a dude that came through in a fucking environment suit and came out, and she made him look like a beekeeper
to fit the era. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I liked that Sword got involved because Sword was always kind of not as bad as Hammer. I hope we never get there.
I had always talked about them dismantling S.H.I.E.L.D. because I was like, that's very detrimental because that was holding
something
together these
has to come back.
So all of a sudden they're just like, I don't know, Nick Fury's fucking Sword now, and we're gonna send everybody to space. And I'm just kind of like, cool. I like space enough. Send them all to space. I don't give a shit.
We gotta do something now.
So it's gonna be, what's her name? Photon.
A Photon, I think.
So they're sending Photon up there. Fucking, her friends there, Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Photon, Spectrum.
I mean,
She's had a bunch of names.
I guess Spider-Man's gonna go. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Thor's already up there, dicking around.
Yeah, he's up there giving the hammer to Natalie
like
Portman.
Earth is safe, Earth mightiest heroes, we don't need them anymore. Let's go to space.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they're going in a totally different direction, and I'm just wondering if the Skrulls are going to end up being fucks because they set them up in Captain Marvel like, oh, the poor Skrulls. And I'm like, the Skrulls suck just as much as the Kree do. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with that. I know Eternals is coming, so that could bring in Celestials. But like, as cool as the Celestials are, they're fucking rad as shit. And like, I like Galactus too. I was hoping that we get some Fantastic Four leading up to Galactus, but at the end of the day, it really just puts into perspective how cyclical comics are, because it's always a big bad from space, and it's like, okay, come on, let's do some of the other villains, like maybe they just want to overthrow Europe or something.
Sure, yeah, no, sure. And God, and that's why I hope that Spider-Man delivers on the promise that the end of Far From Home had, where it's just he's in New York and people don't like him. That's all I want.
Oh yeah.
I don't want him in space, to be completely honest with you.
We already did that
I
once.
said fuck it, I'm fine with that, but
Yeah.
like again, no.
We already
need
did
some
that.
grounded movies too.
Yes. Yes.
But no, the WandaVision overall, first of all, the first time
I think it was better than I expected it to be.
The first time Marvel has really gone outside the box.
Yes.
They tied it back in and felt very Marvel Studios near the end there. But
it was a pretty decent shot at like a gaslighting psychological thriller kind of thing, and she's doing it to herself the whole time, and it's very interesting. And then that whole thing at the end with Vision and the ship of Theseus and everything, like that's some heavy ass shit for a fucking Marvel project.
And the ending of like who am I? And then the things closing in on him and just everything's gone and she just walks out of there. It's very good.
Yeah.
The reason I was being a little bit of a
also like their costume design.
Sure. At the beginning of this is because you know how I hate me some television most of the time. It had, unlike The Mandalorian, it really had televisionitis there near the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
If this was you couldn't do this in a 2-hour movie. There's no fucking way.
No. This would have been at least 2 movies.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I like that they did something with the format they chose, but
yeah.
I'm like, why did they stretch this out? Like it never felt like it was tight. Like near the end, I'm like, we're just trying to get more articles written, speculation articles written or something. Like, why are these 3 episodes ending on big cliffhangers when we know what's happening? And then like the next episode came and it didn't reveal anything further until the one after that.
Yeah, because there wasn't really anything to reveal at that point.
So that's all. That's my one and only gripe. Outside of that, they did some really different and fun stuff.
Yeah. I like that philosophical bit a lot because it gives me hope that at some point, if they ever do a Silver Surfer movie, they'll be able to do it right, because that's mostly what Silver Surfer is, him flying around being philosophical and saving the universe. I would really like to see something along those lines. I doubt that's going to happen, but still, it's that little bit that I got. Are you saying
you didn't like the Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four movie?
No.
Okay.
Nothing about that movie was good.
What about the first Fantastic Four?
I don't know, Ryan. You and I watched the first Fantastic Four film.
Do we want to talk about that? Are we done with one? No. Well, this will be an aside to WandaVision. Unless you want to wrap up WandaVision and talk about Fantastic Four.
I mean, we can do that real quick. WandaVision didn't take as long as I thought it would.
I mean, because it really is the ride. You know what I mean?
It really is, yeah.
It's hard for me. It's hard to go over piece by piece what happens. It's kind of like they're doing a thing and then something will happen intriguing and it's a mystery throughout. And like, we don't want to spoil everything. Sure, we talked about the ending.
Yeah.
But it really is that ride.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it'll hold up to a second watch too, because I'm probably gonna watch it again with my wife, because she was like, I'm not watching that, and I wish I had the patience like her. She's like, I'm not watching that until they're all out, and I went, okay,
good for
cool.
her.
So we'll probably blitz through that here pretty soon.
Yeah,
and I think that will probably be okay.
Yeah,
probably enjoy that.
One of the things that I really commend the series for was the way that they pulled versions of different plot lines from Vision and Wanda's the past and their comic stories into it. Like their children are there. The town is kind of a mixture of a bunch of towns that show up in comics.
You get that, but it's different, but it's not upsetting like
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They need to let that go. Yeah, but it was like yes, it was an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. Like there's even kind of a bit of like House of M going on in Avengers Disassembled and the most recent Vision comic that came out, and the Wanda's mental breakdown, which involved her children in the comics. I I was a very big fan of the show, dude. I love the way that they tied everything together, and it was kind of like watching Captain America when First Avenger came out, and even Winter Soldier, where you can see where the inspiration is, but they twisted it and adapted it, these classic origins, classic stories, and made movies about that. Like it's they did it their own way, but you can see the influence in there.
Tied in with their overall philosophy of how they're running the MCU, but it still was true to source material. Yeah.
Like the whole Ship of Theseus thing is actually a conversation that Vision has in, I think, the Age of Ultron or the Rage of Ultron comic. I can't really recall. Dan Slott wrote it, if I remember right. Yeah, dude, I
really liked that. I really, really liked that. I'm just such an idiot that like it made me think of when they tried to defeat Santa on Futurama with the logical paradox.
That was what I was.
And then I was like, "That's not going to happen. You're stupid." And I was like, "They're going to have a discussion." And then that was really good. Like, yeah, it was the content of the show and what it meant for Marvel and the things I like about it was spot on. Some of the television pacing I found off.
Yes,
that's the only thing I have to say bad about it. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
and you're right.
Beautifully. It's got a lot of cool.
I like the way that they.
I
was just gonna say, I love the way that they change. That when you're going back to the real world because the aspect ratio, you watch it visibly change. Mm-hmm. They don't just hard swap it on you.
Anamorphic, yeah, you're right. It slowly changes. So like anamorphic widescreen, we're doing real life stuff. 4:3, depending on the era, and then even going full 16:9 for something like Modern Family, which was one of the earlier HD like broadcast shows. Yeah. So like, yeah, it was all good.
Yes.
And there were even times where I think that they went even a few different aspect ratios. It's kind of weird. I think in the flashback episodes they did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good show. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You already got that Disney Plus. You're watching The Mandalorian. Go ahead and watch WandaVision.
If you don't, just bum the password off your friend.
It's true. Somebody's got it. They give it away for free on like most cell phone plans, I think.
Yeah. That's like Apple TV.
It's like, yeah. I still have Apple TV too. I haven't watched anything on it, but I got it.
That For All Mankind show looks pretty interesting. I think it's a show or a movie. I'm not sure.
Do you think anything from this is going to tie in 9 days to Winter Soldier and the Falcon?
We might hear news reports about what happened, but she's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows where she is? She's gone. Vision's gone. I don't think we're going to see either of them for a long time. But I think we might hear, like, Sword might come back up, and then because they're obviously going to be pushing Sword as the new Shield and everything. So Sword might come back up, and we might hear some rumblings about what happened over in Jersey.
Yes, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't think that there's going to be any tie-ins in a major way, like Wanda comes and helps out Falcon.
Oh no,
or some shit
like that. Yeah. I was just wondering if the Sword, basically like what you said,
Sword's going to come.
If
back,
Sword's going to be a through.
I have a feeling Sword's going to have,
or if these are going to be different, or if these are just going to be totally separate things, like, which I'm cool with. Don't get me wrong.
I like standalones. I would like to see a lot. We rag on them a lot, but I like that DC's doing this loose continuity where everything's set in the same world, but they're not hard tied to each other.
And if ever they decide to make it all come together, they will have earned it, unlike when they were like, and now we're making Justice League.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Fucking I saw some lady is like 1908. and then some other guy, he doesn't even have a movie.
Those two of them don't. 3 of them didn't even have a movie.
This new Batman, I don't know what his deal is. All right, sure though. No, let's get them together.
Dude, I read an article about the original cut of this when he presented
we can watch the Snyder Cut, by the way. We just have to turn on and off Tom and Jerry until it plays on accident, which apparently is a thing that's actually happening.
What?
and they say it's not on purpose, but I kind of feel like but a report of, hey, if you watch Tom and Jerry, sometimes it just plays the Snyder Cut is going to get so many more people to go and press play on Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Anyway, I thought I'd share that news.
No, apparently his original version of it was like a 6-hour fucking movie, and his defense for it was, I've got like 3 characters to introduce and a galactic villain to show up. And I'm just like,
have you seen
Guardians of the Galaxy did the exact same thing.
Like, have you seen Avengers?
Yeah.
There were, well, who do we have? Hawkeye they had to introduce.
Which was brief and easy. Black Widow.
Brief and
no,
easy.
Black Widow
was
been
already
around
there.
Dude, I think Hawkeye was the only. You had a new Hulk, but
sure,
we already knew Hulk. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I think the only one they did have to introduce was Hawkeye, and they did a very good job of that. I always talk about it, of just being like, make him a villain at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I referenced Guardians, because nobody fucking knew who these people were.
No.
Yeah. And they had another galactic destroying villain, you know,
They
like
did with
and they managed to do it in 2 hours. Ronan,
there we go.
Yeah.
It was like the blue guy who cries or whatever.
He's got really greasy tears.
That's so greasy.
He's so greasy.
No, you're right. He's an idiot. I can't wait to talk about that movie. I'm not so pumped to watch it, but I am pumped to talk about
early
it.
reviews are pretty bad from the
Are
leaked
they?
versions. Yeah, apparently people are talking about it
I
on
was
the
like,
internet.
leaked. They didn't.
Yeah.
They barely.
It's
leaked.
not even leaked. It's just
They
like,
fucked up.
If you fuck around, you can watch it.
Yeah, play it and stop it a million times. Hope it plays. That's got to be on purpose. How does that happen?
Some dude at HBO Max was just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Probably.
Like, cause God, who was it that burned a movie that was total shit? He worked on it and he fucking put a leak out of it.
Oh God. Well, there's a couple of instances of that, but I had talked to you the other day about the projectionist who showed a critic preview of Silver Surfer, right? And he went on the internet and bitched, and it was
Rise of Silver Surfer.
Rise of Silver Surfer.
That might be the one that I'm thinking.
It was under embargo, so those people, they're writing their reviews or whatever, and it went up on a certain day. He just went home and fucking wrote on the internet about how big a piece of shit it was. And they like sued him into oblivion. I was like, come on, for the Silver Surfer movie.
Fucking, they're petty about that shit, man.
I know.
So speaking of,
Ryan,
you watched the Fantastic Four movie for the first time?
The way through? In full for the first time. Yeah, for sure.
What did you think, Ryan, of Jessica Alba's Fantastic Four?
Oh God, that movie's bad. Okay, we talked about Fan4Stick on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Fan4Stick is much.
Fan4Stick had ambition.
Is much better, yeah. As much as that guy is just the worst.
Webb.
Yeah.
Not Webb.
No. Trank. There we go. As much as he is just a nightmare, he was trying to do something with them. I think near the end of the movie, they ended up being the same. Like the end of both the movies is basically the same.
Dude, it's the exact same fucking ending. Like they just were like, no, fire funnel. And he melts.
See, but in Fan4Stick, wasn't it like a portal to another world that they went
to?
They didn't go up in a spaceship.
No, they got rid of the spaceship angle and did like a dimensional portal. They go to the negative zone.
And then Doom was just stuck there, right? He didn't come back. Like Doom went back there.
Yeah, there was a cataclysm. In the cataclysm, they gave them all their powers. Doom got fucked up and stayed there.
That's right.
And then came back through, I think.
Not talking about Fan4Stick, but Fantastic Four. Like while they were writing that movie, like what were they were like? You know what people want to see? Them being superheroes? No, don't be an idiot.
No, they gotta hang out.
No, they're just hanging out in a building, and they're like, we have these powers, but we don't know what to do with them. That's it. That's all that happens. That's exactly the whole movie.
Yeah.
I'm sad because I'm a rock man. I'm mad because of money. That's Doom's whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Jessica Alba and fucking British guy are like, we like each other, but you care about science. He's like, I want a bone. She's like, okay. And then Doom was like, see,
Good,
look,
Ryan.
see, look, they don't even care about fixing you guys. They just want to bone. And he's like, this is some bullshit. And then the whole time you've just got,
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans. You have Chris Evans just.
Did you almost say Chris Pine?
No, I almost said Rich Evans. So do it every time.
Oh my god!
That was last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. Fucking, you got him just being like, "It's cool to be a superhero, and I'm gonna go and flame on at the BMX or at the motocross show."
I mean, at least he was doing something.
What was he?
I mean, he was doing rad shit. He was doing backflips
But they
and
didn't
lighting on fire.
save anybody. They saved somebody at the beginning on
Yeah,
accident.
they saved the bridge. They fixed the bridge.
Sure.
They deal with the bridge trouble.
After he started it.
Yes. By accident.
Sure, he was trying to help the jumper or whatever.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "No,
You
I
think
don't
you
wanna
got
die."
it bad? Look at me, buddy. Oh, shit. It's just them being like, we'll figure out what's wrong with us and then we'll fix it. Oh, no, Doom's being a dick. Let's get him. You know what? We're the Fantastic Four now. And then the movie was over.
Yep.
The Thing has the most screen time, I think. Maybe.
He really does. He
At
does,
least
yeah.
doing things that like matter, not talking about the relationship or being like, yo, sis, I can be my own man. I'm gonna go. I'll drive my Porsche wherever I feel like. I'm hot.
I just wanted to send you on a rant.
Yeah, I just when you're writing the movie, you're just kind of like, should we get that out of the way, like in the beginning? And they're like, no, stretch it the whole movie. Like, no, we just go to space, no explanation. They get their powers. Sure, it's quick, it's easy. Then they start doing superhero stuff, right? No. No, don't be ridiculous. No, they sit around. And they talk about how their powers.
Like if there was any kind of like redoing science and you're watching him try to fix it and there's some kind of drama there and everything.
Sure.
Like, that would have been interesting. No.
He knew what to do. The first.
Yeah.
He knows what to do, but he's like, I got to be extra sure because, I don't want to fuck us up more. But anyway, I'm going to go on a date now.
Well, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, dude. Like show us him tinkering with some trial and error. Like he's, and no, we don't see any of that.
So like the Spider-Man thing of like, he's testing what he can do and whatever. Like that's cool. And they just put Chris Evans in the thing, and then they're like, get really hot, and he's like, I'm too hot, and they're like, you're too hot, and that was all they ever did.
Yeah,
they didn't test anything else.
And then the rest of the montage is like him trying to get the thing to hit himself in the face with sour cream or whatever.
Yeah. The only other thing that they did was they were like, hey, since we were wearing these suits when it happened, they also have the same powers as us. Don't worry about the thing. That doesn't make any sense. But so this can be really burny and this can stretch and this is invisible now. Science.
Yeah. Sorry, Jessica Alba. You don't got to walk around naked anymore.
They only did that twice.
They did it like 3 times. Yeah.
God. They did that.
Poor Jessica Alba.
Oh, whatever. And I mean, she read the script. I mean, like,
I know, right?
I don't think she was being exploited. Like it was meant for like oh God, my panties. I don't know. I mean, they did that. To be fair, Chris Evans also burned all of his clothes off and then was going to get
hanging out with his junk. Yeah.
We figured out that it was an actress like
Maria.
It was Maria Menounos.
Maria Menounos. We had no idea that was her.
So to be fair, they did do it to 2 characters.
Yeah.
And it was the 2000s. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying
I'm trying to remember what came out first, that or Iron Man. I think Iron Man came out before it.
No, there's no way. Yeah, look it up. I don't think so. I've got more to say. Don't worry. Yeah, so they did that, and then it was just, I'm mad because I want to go do stuff, and people like me. Like, he wasn't going to fight crime.
No.
He was just going
I get what you mean.
To the BMX or to the motocross
I'm
show.
just saying that he was doing something.
He was pushing the plot forward at least.
Yeah.
Like...
See, and that's the thing, like, because of the way he's acting, he should have been the one that caused the problem,
Sure.
not the thing.
Yeah.
I've always had a huge fucking problem with everyone adoring Johnny Storm, a man that can go supernova and has several times, but everybody loves Johnny Storm, but the thing's made of rock and that's gross. It's just, I'm just like, the fuck is it? One is a lethal threat. One just looks weird.
Right. Dude, the Fantastic Four,
I love
I'm
the
sure
Fantastic
can
Four.
be cool.
They can be, but you have to embrace the camp and balance it. And
Yeah.
this just said, well, they got powers and they hang out in a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have some fun with it. Don't go dark and gritty like Trank did. Put the science in that's there. You need to have a bit of that body horror that he had going on.
The body horror stuff.
Because it is what happened to Ben is truly horrifying.
Mhm.
Like the man is a rock. That's terrifying, but like have a little fun
Just
with
got some,
it.
like peanuts in my head. Like, I got invisibility. I got stretchy hands. I got fire. I got a rock. It's a major bummer.
It really is.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. And the problem, the reason I don't want to see Fantastic Four as a movie again is because I don't want to see the Fantastic Four again. Like, it's going to be them getting their powers.
No.
It's going to be them getting their fucking...
I'm sorry. I'm over here just blown away by something. Hang on, I gotta read.
It'll be them getting their powers again, because you're not just going to let them be the Fantastic Four. That's ridiculous. We have to see them get hit by space dust and figure out their powers and all that stuff. And like, while I think eventually it can be cool, I don't want to see the third time trying to do a
Yes.
Fantastic Four origin story.
Yes.
Unless you just introduce them in another movie and they're just there already, and there's like brief little like ha-has, and we explain how we got our powers, and then that's their intro. And if you go see Fantastic Four after that, you better know what you're getting into.
A way to do that is they introduce them during the Secret War thing, and they're like the first people to try to go up to figure out what the fuck's going on, and they
Sure.
get hit with cosmic shit.
And that's the thing that and that's the thing that sucks.
And definitely
is that everybody has already been to space in the MCU at this point. Like, Captain Marvel just went and grabbed the spaceship and just brought him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's been so much space already. It's like, wow, they're going to go out in space. Hopefully nothing bad happens. It's like, everybody else has been fine.
You could redo the negative zone thing from
sure.
the Trank version. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just one thing that they gotta stop doing is putting Doom there. Doom wasn't fucking there. Doom got fucked up in a lab experiment with Reed that fucking Doom fucked up. So that's why he looks the way he looks. He didn't go anywhere with them and get cosmic powers.
I think it's because...
Bring Doom in later.
Here's where I think the screenwriters' heads are on that one, is they're like, we can't make the Thing the bad guy. But it's still interesting that like you get a bum deal. Like they're having fun over there, and you got like a bum rap. So they're like, well, I guess maybe Doom was just there and his shit's all fucked up. But like he's cool with being a rock guy. I don't know what to say.
It's interesting, the Fantastic Four, because Marvel back in the day was mainly known for like its monster comics, like Hulk and stuff, and their whole attitude about Fantastic Four was, if nobody really likes the superhero angle, we've got a monster on the team, so we can do anything with that.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why they're like, no, like he's mad that he doesn't have cool powers like them or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just,
the
dude's just a wizard. That's all he is. He's a wizard in knight armor. That's all he is. And he's super smart.
No Doom. Just no Doom.
Just
don't even
hold
bother.
off on Doom.
Just don't even bother.
If you're gonna do it, wait on him.
Let their first movie see how that does.
Bring in a Nihilus or something like that, or Psycho
tease
Man.
up Doom at the end of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Have your fucking. He's like, he leaves his calling card, and then they give him. It's just it's a picture of Doom's face, and they're like, no, it's not taken from Batman.
It just says Doom.
Doom
on it.
Just always. I can imagine I wasn't into Batman at the time, but I could just imagine how excited people were at the end of Batman Begins, right? They had to have just been fucking jazzed.
I was interested to see what they were going to do with the new Joker.
Yeah.
And overall, Ledger's okay.
Sure.
He's not my favorite. Hamill and Nicholson. But,
I don't like that fucking movie, but I could only imagine at the end of that people were like, "Oh my god!"
It was really cool because it was a throwback to year one, where it ends with the Joker being brought up, and then Ed Brubaker did the series that was the direct sequel to that, where it was I think it was The Man Who Laughs, and it's Joker going on killing sprees and shit like that, and it was a pretty interesting comic. Because it was the first big thing that he dealt with. Because before that, if I remember right, he was just fighting mob bosses and stuff.
Yeah, so like I would love
According
for
to that
Marvel
timeline
to do something like that, which they did at the end of Avengers. That did not pay off for 10 years.
No, no.
But it did pay off.
If
Thanos was awesome.
If they're gonna do this whole Secret Wars thing, they cannot drag it out for another 10 years.
Right.
No one's gonna wait that long.
I'm gonna be
anymore.
dead. I'm not gonna like. There are times I always like to joke like, God, I hope I don't die before this comes out. But like, if they're going to drag out like Star Wars and Marvel for like another 20 years, I'm gonna die before I see all of it. There's no way.
Yeah, dude,
I'm not making it past 53.
I could die tomorrow.
You could.
I fell down my stairs.
It's true. It's true. You can't even live upstairs for two weeks without injuring yourself. I don't trust you surviving long. Like, I'm still worried about seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League, let alone getting to Kong versus Godzilla.
You're such a piece of shit. Oh my god! Fuck you, man.
Anyway, well, it's a pretty concise episode for you guys there.
Yeah, pretty chill one, pretty quick one.
Pretty chill, but importante when it comes to that WandaVision, because that was the kickoff for that. This is the first
Marvel show.
One.
The next one I'm really looking forward to is What If.
Sure.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. And if they ever get off their ass with that Hawkeye show, I'm there for that one too.
Yep.
Falcon and Winter Soldier looks okay.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Looks okay.
I can't judge those based off of their trailers, because I thought that Winter Soldier was going to be the worst pile of garbage.
That's exactly how I feel about it. I'm interested to see, because they're bringing in USA Agent. They're bringing in, I think, Hush. I think that was her name. I could be wrong.
Taskmaster.
And fucking Zemo's coming back.
Bring in the Taskmaster.
And it looks like he goes Zemo. I know you want Taskmaster. I want Crossbones back.
I just don't know what to do with myself, because right now I should be like a year out after having seen my boy in the big screen.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I've almost forgotten.
I've
almost forgotten Taskmaster's in a movie.
Dude, I keep
go back to our
it.
earliest episodes. Well, no, I guess go back to our earliest episodes. I'm talking about Taskmaster.
Dude, when
for
we were talking
far
about
too long.
When we were talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you were really hoping to see Taskmaster show up in Civil War or somewhere, because Taskmaster trained Crossbones and everything. And
it's true.
Yeah.
I still think Rachel Weisz is going to be Taskmaster. I'm still there on that. You know what I learned, Josh? That Rachel Weisz is like 51 years old.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't.
That's insane to me.
I watched something with her in it super young, and it was like,
like it's the 90s, right?
Dude. It was like a late 80s, early 90s movie, and she's like 20 something or.
I had no idea she's been around doing this for so long. Like, I feel like The Favorite came out, and that was when she was on my radar, and I'm like, she was acting alongside Emma Stone in that one, right?
Yes, yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, they're like similar in age, like 30.
Dude, the first thing I ever saw her in was the first Mummy movie. She's the damsel in distress.
I didn't realize that was her.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my brain, I was like on Twitter or Brittany watches E stuff or whatever, and it's like, oh, she turned 51. I was like, holy shit! I thought she was like a 30-something-year-old woman.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking idiot.
It's all that boiled food in Britain.
I guess
it preserves the flesh.
I guess.
Nah, she's I like her a lot. I'm glad
Yeah,
to see her
same.
doing some shit.
I'm interested in I'm still interested in that fucking
I'm
movie.
very interested in Black Widow. I've been keeping it quiet because I was ranting about it for so
Sure.
long with you, dude. That
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is getting fucking stupid, dude. Just fucking put the movie out.
I agree. They're definitely not going to now.
No.
Like
Because what was the
I
new one that
have-
they just released? Raya?
Yeah.
But they know that Marvel's going to work. Like,
Sure.
WandaVision worked. The fucking Mandalorian. It's a franchise thing. Like, people will come. People will
pay
watch.
that
Yeah.
stupid 20, 30 extra
30
dollars on
fucking
top.
dollars.
I mean, I will immediately. You know what I mean? Like,
probably
so
would.
exactly. And I'm just kind of like, do you think that's not going to equal out to what you like? Is pirating is going to be more difficult for the layman than just paying you the stupid $30 to watch it.
Yes.
So like, and that's why you're upcharging anyway. It's not like you're charging $10 like a ticket price and then people are pirating it. Like I know it's also, they're like 5 people are going to see it off of one $30 purchase. I don't know. They're going to make their fucking money back at this point. It's like, come on, I don't know. It's not going to happen because
We've had the same rant.
I know we have, but it's not going to happen because unlike some of our previous rants where it was speculative, by this summer, movie theaters will be fucking open.
Yes.
Whether or not people want to go see it, I would say put it out now when people can't go and they will pay for it. People are still going to be fucking iffy on going even if they're open.
Yeah.
But they will be open. Sure, if I'm vaccinated, I'm going to go. If I'm not, I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, same thing.
So-
same thing, dude.
Like-
I don't. And the success that certain movies have had on, like Warner Brothers took a big chance with their releasing
Yeah,
and stuff like
doing
that.
a new
Like,
movie every month.
Tom and Jerry fucking blew up, you know. Trolls 2 blew up. I'm trying to think of the other one that was a huge success.
We'll see what happens with Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
We'll see
Godzilla
what
and
happens
Kong.
with fucking God, what's coming before that?
There's another bit. We'll see what happens with the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut. But like I know Dune is coming out way later. But
Yeah,
there's
Dune's
something
later in the
there's
year.
something before that I thought was crazy they were going to do as well. Now I can't remember.
Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's crazy to me that they're going to do that because like the fact that they went and got the guy they were trying to rip off, and it's like their big DC thing.
This
for
is
the
the
year.
big coup. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Snyder Cut notwithstanding because it shouldn't, but yeah, like this is their one DC film this year. So
Yes.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Denis is just fucking
a monster.
just probably going ape shit about their decision to do that. And
I know, because it deserves to be a big screen.
Sure. And
But-
and again, by like December, according to everything we know, we should be vaccinated and ready to go see it. And I
Yeah.
will. But like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come home and watch it on my TV again. So,
Oh, yeah. Because all I wanted to do after I left Blade Runner 2049
Is watch
was
it again.
Watch it again.
for a number of reasons.
Yes.
One that I forgot about until I thought about it the other day. And I was like, that was the worst. And we couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. That poor guy. I feel bad for him, dude. Like, he didn't want to watch that movie. You two assholes drug him here.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Is it next? Yeah. Yeah. We'll be back in like 9-10 days, something like that.
Yeah.
We've got, well, we won't be talking about Winter Soldier and Falcon because we now that we're doing mini series on this here fucking podcast, not that I'm against it.
Yeah.
I started it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, it's kind of like...
It's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about the shit movies I
Sure,
watched today,
But we will be back with fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League.
yeah. And we're going to offer a comparison because we're going to double down on this torture.
We're getting double the fucking Justice League in our bones.
We're gonna watch the Whedon movie again,
Yeah.
which I honestly don't remember.
I don't
fucking
remember
any. I
anything
know we
about
talked.
it.
Let's just listen to our past episode.
Yeah, maybe we just go back and listen to it. We'll hear me talk about how there was only one other group in there for the 900th time. All right, we're done. We'll be back next. We'll be back. We'll be back with more shit. Like, there's plenty of shit. It is nice. There's stuff to talk about. So we'll be back. But in the meantime, we do have a YouTube channel, and that is where our original series Classic Ketchup goes up. You can listen to Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Watch.
Yeah, you can watch it.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
We do
along
stuff
with Halloween, and we are working on our Star Trek series at the moment. So Wrath of Khan is coming up next. At Mighty Movie Pod on Twitter is when you can find out when the podcasts go up, if we're live on Twitch, when there's a new video. But if you want to just go to all those places individually, it is Mighty Fish Productions.
Yes.
On YouTube, on Twitch.
Yes.
Fucking SoundCloud, whatever. That's where we be, dog. You can find us on all major podcasting apps, including Spotify, Apple, and Google.
Stitcher.
Fucking Audible, I think. I haven't checked on that. I told them yes.
I think I think Audible. Yeah, I was gonna say I know Audible does podcasts now, but
I went to them and said yes, that's fine, because they contacted me. I know, right?
Damn.
I mean, I think they just go through the whole the RSS feeds from iTunes, and we're like, give us the permission. And I said, "See,
give me money."
That's all I got. I'm getting very much better at getting that more concise.
Yeah.
Because at Mighty Movie Pod on Twitter is the best place to just figure out where the fuck shit's going on.
Yep.
We don't tweet. I'm not just out there tweeting nonsense all the time. It's mostly to let you know when something goes up.
Yeah.
I need to be more frequent on there, and maybe a poster here.
Put a couple memes.
For the most part, I just want it to be, if you follow it, then you know what's happening. That's it. That's what we got.
Cool.
We are the Mighty Movie Pod.
It's a very aggressive ending.
I know. I just want people to fucking know. You know? We might be live on Twitch here pretty soon. I've been dragging my feet on getting it set up properly, like audio wise.
Yeah.
But me and Josh have been playing a little bit of that Red Dead Online, and I think that there's some funny moments in that are worth sharing. We're just fucking around. That's all we do.
Like how I somehow fish hooked your horse last night.
I don't know. There's some goofy shit that happens in that game, and it's a fun time. So yeah, at Mighty Movie Pod on Twitter when we go live. I have been your host, Ryan.
And I'm still Josh.
And we will see you in the next episode. Yeah, number 80. We did it.